All right, and we're back. If you're new here, I am Ralph the coach, certified professional
And I
life
am,
coach, and my lovely friend here, where we get all the questions from.
yeah. I am Candy with Candy Conversations. I am an educator by day and a conversationalist by night.
Yes. Um, and here we don't have small talk. We don't like small talk, so we get right on into it because we value
Yep.
your time just like we value ours.
Yes.
So if you were here last week, we all grew together because when people are vulnerable with you, you get closer. And
Mhm.
so now we're all close friends, right? Hopefully we can stay
Yes.
that way.
Yes.
Did you want to give us an update on how you're feeling now, or
Mhm.
did any more revelations come? Um,
Oh, wow. Yeah. So it's been an interesting week. Um, I did a lot of, I think when it started last week, I was talking about how I had, sat with myself and thought through some things, etc. And honestly, I guess didn't really think of it at that time, but starting the process of sitting with yourself makes you do it a lot more. Like you continue to do it. So I had several times of doing that in just the past week. Shed a lot of tears, got a little ugly, but a good ugly, like ugly face cry ugly, or like,
mhm.
man, did I really do that ugly? Or am I really thinking that way? So sitting with my mess, the mess that I create or that I'm subconscious of sometimes. And it's okay to recognize it because I know now of the things that I need to do to switch it up. That in addition to just like really thinking through what it is I want for myself in my career. Like I had a big adjustment in something that I want to move forward with in my career that 2 weeks ago I would have been like, absolutely not. Like seriously. So changes can come really quick when you do that sitting. Um, and then even in like relationship, just kind of really honing in on where am I, where are we, what do I desire, um what can I get from this, what do I want from this, and then just like really coming to a point where I'm like, I'm going to put all my cards on the table. Have I done it yet? No, because I don't want to do it prematurely without taking the time to think through it, but I have told my partner that it's coming.
Mhm.
So at least, he's expecting it. Um, and I say that that's huge for me because I'm not a person that usually speaks up for myself.
Mhm.
So even me sharing what I want is huge.
Yeah.
Me saying, hey, I need help is huge. So one great thing, one highlight is I started I call it a check-in chew with my man. Um, and it went well. Like it really just, I didn't expect it to not, but it was really just sharing a meal, but having like intentional conversation about the state of us and what we desire, what we can do to help each other, what could we do better. And it's something that we plan to do weekly. I had seen it on Instagram before. I've heard about it, but I think it was really good just to kind of talk through those things. So that's a lot of what happened in just this past week, to be honest. I also hurt my shoulder. This is not a fancy crossbody. This is a sling. But yeah, that is um how the week went. And honestly, I'm gonna add this too. There was a lot of confirmation this week about these conversations that we're having. And yeah, it's just like I'm honored. So for those of you who take the time to watch, those of you who take the time to like, share, comment, it is an honor, like truly. I'm not just saying that you give your time to even indulge in what we discuss here, because time is that one thing we can't get back. So thank you in advance. Keep rocking with us because you ain't seen the tip of the iceberg yet with us. But no, that's all. So that's a recap for the week. And just to kind of like Ralph said, we don't waste time. But I am gonna give you a chance if you want to comment. But we are gonna continue with a couple questions that kind of tie to what we were the 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 session from last week. So
Yeah.
Ralph, did you want to say anything to
I just
add
wanted
to?
to ask a clarification question because you kind of just said check and chew and you didn't say what it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's a check-in with your partner, but we chewed on some food while we checked in. And basically it's a how are you doing? Literally, these are some of the questions I ask. How are you doing? How do you feel I showed up for you this week? Is there anything I can do better for you? And we both get to ask and answer those. So it's not one-sided. And then we go through like, so what do we have to do this week? And we kind of delegate what each partner is going to take care of during the week. And if there is something that is like my responsibility, but I still need help, I let him know then. But the idea is that if it's on your list, it's what you do, and it's all on you. I'm not helping. You're not helping me with mine. And when we check in about it again, it'll be the next week. The other thing that we talk about, just like daily life things, like, okay, you get the groceries for these meals this week, and we decide on what meals we're going to eat. So right now it's really just about saving time and being supportive of each other in the daily, in the long term, and just making sure we are both okay as people as well. So, yep,
I'm just going to
that's what
add
it
that can
is.
be with anything that's checking in with finances, checking in with our goals
Mm-hmm.
for each other.
Yep.
My goals have changed, so can you help me in this
Mm-hmm.
capacity?
Mm-hmm.
What are our goals for our relationship? What are our goals for the kids? Are we are we on target for the goals for our relationship, kids,
Mm-hmm.
finances, anything is just, we have a weekly meeting. If you're really
Mm-hmm.
rocking and rolling and y'all are mature in this thing, a monthly meeting, but just
Mm-hmm.
a point where, hey, it's a intentional sit down to say, hey, you know, I'm checking in on you. What's going on? Mentally, physically,
Right.
emotionally, what's going on? What's going on in the house? Am I missing some things? You know what I'm saying? Do I
Mm-hmm.
need to pick up the pace on some things? What's happening? Because,
Right.
just an example, when you are in a living situation, whether relationship
Mm-hmm.
or roommate or whatever the case may be, life be lifing. And if
Yeah.
you're by yourself, you'll notice you have a busy week. You don't get to do laundry or clean up, or the dishes might
Mm-hmm.
be in the sink because it's like you're going. And
Mm-hmm.
so at the end of it all, whether it comes down to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, however your week goes,
Mm-hmm.
when you're by yourself, you get the woo-saw and then just kind of like
Yeah.
get everything back in order. So the same thing if a partner, and you're like, man, this week was crazy. And speaking about myself being married for a while, you look at me like, well, shit, we ain't even have sex. And you're like, I know, because I had that and that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You be like,
Right.
oh, we missed that. And you checking in, you be like, okay, well, we got to put
That's,
something.
you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I was always the person who was confused and people were like, well, it's hard sometimes. And I'd be like, how is it hard? Like you just do it. But yeah,
That's
because when
how it's hard.
sleep come.
Yeah. Because like
So
if
yeah.
you like you said you had a hard week, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
the last thing on your mind is not having sex. Because you're
Fact.
tired, they're tired because they might have been helping you or they had their own busy week. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
like y'all are both laughing. Well, I can't wait to get in this bed. And and you gonna
Right.
do it. And then next
Right.
it's the next week, and you be like, oh, wait a minute.
Right. And
Wait.
we both honestly, to be transparent, this week we both experienced loss in our families.
Yeah.
Neither one was expected really either. So it was just like, what? So it has been a week. It really has. But we're good. Like it's good to know that you can get through a week like this too.
So
You
that's what I'm
know?
saying. It's just good to check in because you will have moments. You have going to have death. You're going to have,
Mm-hmm.
people having babies. You're going to
Yes.
have life situations. So
Mm-hmm.
checking
Mm-hmm.
in to make sure you need anything. And because, sometimes you're so busy, you don't get to say, hey, I need you to help me or can you help me? Because you
Right.
also have this going on. So that's what a
Right.
check in, because it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, cater it to however, what I was trying to say, just cater it
Right.
to however you need to for your relationship. But that's what it is. All right. Well, let's hit with these questions.
And make a plan. Hold up. I want to also add, make a plan for it to be consistent. Like don't skip out on it. Cause
Mandatory.
I even told him, right, like if I'm not here because I'm out of town for work or something, then we're gonna FaceTime. We're gonna do it
Yeah.
virtually, but
Mm,
we have to be consistent
yeah.
with it. So I wanted to put that out there. So these questions, I always get excited with the questions. So segueing into the first question, does faith matter in your relationship? And let me add, I ain't talking just like the whoo hallelujah chorus
I was
type.
about to
I'm
ask.
talking about just look, all right, look, that's why I'm clarifying because I know you. I'm talking more like to give the example. I'm a
Okay.
person, I do operate in fear. I don't worry about something not working until it doesn't work. So I'm going to go full force ahead. This is what I want to do. Does it scare me a little bit sometimes? Yeah, because I don't know what I'm getting into, but I'm going to do the work to couple my faith, and I'm going to have faith that it's going to happen. But if it doesn't, I always see that as like God's protection.
Okay.
So as opposed to people who are like, I don't want to do it, I don't know because I don't know. No, I'm like, I'm going to at least have faith that I can have the thing that I desire and put the work in to do it. So does that matter in a relationship? Because that's a mindset. And if you are coupled with a person who they may not match you exactly, but they operate, let's say, in fear, that could be a tough one. So, does it matter? I say yes because of kind of what I just shared. What are your thoughts on
I
that?
say yes, but I'm also speak to the people who say no. Um, because
Mm-hmm.
for us, for the people who are saying yes, yes, that is a difficult thing. For someone who says no,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter to me, that is so many reasons. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to say I don't want you to say no because for us, make it personal. For us, it
Right,
is
right.
a difficult thing
Mm-hmm.
because for somebody who is no, that might be what they're used to. They might come from an
Right.
environment where they have a worrier parent that they had a worrier guardian, or they grew up with friends. They had a
Mm-hmm.
roommate for 7 years from college on who so they used to it, so it doesn't bother them. They've learned how
Mm-hmm.
to deal with it. For me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fighter, so it is hard for me to kind of like just, oh God, like the world is going to end, and I'm
Right.
very like solution driven, and so
Mm-hmm.
you know like if something is going on, it's just like that wasn't the right solution. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, if something come through, okay, that wasn't the right one for me. We keep
Mm-hmm.
going. Not
Right.
like I also don't have a pessimistic mindset like, well, maybe, I'm not doing well enough, or maybe God is not happy with me, or maybe God don't see me. Like I always used to wonder like how people would be like, God doesn't love me. And it's like anytime I've ever had hardship, I've
Mm-hmm.
never gone to the place of God blank blank, don't do this, don't love me, don't see me, don't want to help me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always like, okay, God, what we trying to do? What we trying to do? It's like you my
Right,
partner. Like, what we trying to do,
right.
guy? Because we got to get through this. Um, so I
That's
need a
so funny because sometimes I just be like, what's the lesson? Just tell me the lesson, Jesus, so I can go to the next thing.
I'll read the chapter. Just tell me what it is.
Come
But
on, give me the test.
to have a partner who may be a worrier, who may be very anxious, who is very pessimistic,
Hmm.
that's not going to work for me because it's going to frustrate me, and because it's giving me more work because
Hmm.
I in
Hmm.
a friendship, relationship, anything, I can't allow for someone to sulk, but so much doomsday
Mm.
attitude, woe is me, everything bad happens to
Right,
me, and I not say anything. I'm definitely that friend,
right.
that person. Hold on, somebody at my door.
You need me? You can't help me with your one arm. What you need help with? Nothing. I need your help. What? With dishes. You need the what? I need your help with and putting that food away, like getting the containers out. So, yeah, about to leave in about 45 minutes, an hour or something like that. All right. I gotta go to storage and see what's going on. What you need? Keep calling about blue jackets, I wanna make sure. You don't have no more at your mom? Huh? No more at your mom? No more blue. Okay. You're saying there's no more blue at the storage, but you said that the last time, and it was like 100 more blues there. So maybe you just wasn't paying attention more. And some blue ones, and we got like 4 orders for blue now.
I'm
What
telling
size?
you, it's a quick inspection.
That's good. We never had three. We don't have no 3X. You keep saying that, but we only had I tried a 3X XL and 2X. You got rid of it. You sold it. We don't. 3X too. I don't know, but the last is odd. I don't remember selling a 3X. Nobody. Okay. Well, when we had all those in the living room, they were only extra large and 2X. And that was with us when we went and you said there was nothing in there. We pulled out the blue. So I don't know. Good luck with that one. All right, we're back. Oh, no, she left again. But yeah, good luck with it because we haven't seen it. When I had all of those in the living room, it wasn't in there. But what made you not see them when you thought there was none and there was like another 100 in there? It wasn't on no 100. Exaggerating. I mean, I'm exaggerating, of course, but I'm saying, but they were in 100 total period. So you know I'm exaggerating. The only thing Good morning.
Good morning.
When we last checked, the only thing that we had that was 3X were the camel colored. We didn't have any navy blue. Yeah, I'm hoping they will change. Alrighty. Talk to you.
I
Bye.
don't remember where I was.
What'd you say?
I don't remember where I was.
You were talking about how you have to say something to your partner if they're like sulking and woe is me.
I'll,
You can't
I'll,
not say anything about that.
I'll just start from there. So like if I'm around someone like sulking or woe was me, doomsday attitude, like I have to say something. Like I know some people are just like, just whatever. But for me, I'm just like, come on, like don't think like that because I come from the cloth of you speak it out loud, then it's so.
Right,
So, you know what I'm
right,
saying? Let's change our energy. Let's not say those things out loud. Let's not speak those things into existence. And let's think more positively, like what can we do to change this around? Like again, solution
right.
mindset. So to be in a romantic relationship with someone like that, it won't last long. I'm gonna leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave because I can't do it. In a
Right.
friendship, more than likely, I'm going to tell them if I value other things. I will tell them, I don't have the capacity,
Mm-hmm.
or because I know people have friends for other things. I'm just not that friend for that.
Right.
Like
Right.
I would rather just be the go to brunch. We do other things, but even if we're doing that and you go into a complaining, oh
Mm-hmm.
God, this is happening to me. See, they brought the wrong water. I don't want to enjoy. That's not enjoyable for me. I don't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I would
agree.
I would be out. So that's what I said. I know
It
for us,
lowers the vibration.
it lowers everything because then it's like you just dumped all that negativity on me, and like now I got to go home and recharge, and I'm just like, oh,
Right. So
right.
just to clarify for the audience, you're referring more to people who are just kind of like negative Nancy's, Debbie Downer, sulk all the time, but never do the work to get, because it does, we're all human, we have our moments.
Yeah.
But is your moment temporary? Is it a split second or is it your lifestyle? So and
Yeah, because I
that's what
feel
I'm
like with the question of not having faith, I feel like that's a lifestyle. That's not a
yes.
moment.
Yes, you're
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
usually you have the moment and then that thing kick in the gear.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? But for it to be a consistent thing and
Right,
you're known for it, you're known to be woe is me, complainer,
right.
pessimistic type of person. For me, I don't see faith around
No,
because
nope.
you're just looking at the bad side of everything, really.
Right,
If everything's not going your way, then everything's not going your way.
right, right. Like
So,
just to be like, oh, don't do this because I'm also not that person that's shifted by the things that are happening in the world. Like as much as I'm in an airplane, one would think I would be afraid to get in one. I ain't
oh, yeah.
because I believe I'm protected.
Yeah.
And I don't know what day or hour is mine. I don't wish anything on myself, but I'm not gonna avoid what life is for me
Yeah.
because of what's happening in the world. Like,
Yes.
no, I'm not that. I never have been, and I never will be that person. I went to Alaska during COVID.
Well, I wouldn't say never be. You might have a moment of being like that. And I just say that because kids make you
Yeah.
yeah.
I think like there's so you definitely can be influenced by things that are happening for sure. But like the second something happens, like, oh, I ain't never getting on no airplane again. Or
Oh
I ain't never,
yeah, no.
I'm not that person.
No.
I'm not. I
I
couldn't wait for the airplanes to start moving again after
like
COVID. Like I'm
but
serious.
and I'm over here like I hope these flights stay down for a long because you know how like in COVID you could get a $75.
Girl, look, why you playing? I said now is the time to plan a trip. We don't have a sick sense of humor, but it's real. Like those flights was like $69 for
Well, no, I don't have a sixth sense of humor. I have a dark sense of humor.
wow,
Yeah.
clarification.
But no, I don't for the people who have gotten hurt and
Yeah, for sure.
then hell no, I don't, But
No, right.
um
Well,
the
hey, we gonna save us some coin here in a little bit.
the rainbow and just like how it was a lady to get off topic for a minute. There was a lady, she was on TikTok and she was saying that this not this time, but
Mhm.
like the fires and stuff like that. She was like when natural disasters and things like that happen, yeah, it's not necessarily ethically what you want to do, but this is when these companies come in and be buying up land and be throwing up these properties. So she was like, when Hurricane Katrina happened, she was like, I got on some deals because
Right,
the water done. So now
right.
they're coming in these different areas trying to rebuild it, and it's cheap
Mm,
and people got to come back to the area. So then there
right.
you go. So then you got the fires in California. You got all these other things happening. You just looking, and it's kind of like what I would call a hearse chaser, or what they would say, like
Mm,
people who chase to see, um, when somebody died and
right,
yeah.
right.
So yeah, these are tragedies that are happening, but at the same time, you can make money on the back end.
That's true.
Yeah. So for those
Yeah.
real estate, I'm sorry I let the secret out, but I wasn't the first. Okay, go ahead.
Um, so the other topic that kind of tied to everything else was um being secure with giving your partner space. Um, and it's funny because I don't know why I just now I was thinking, and you can share your like, well, and I know you can because y'all traveled a lot when you were married. You know, you did your separate trips and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
you had things to do your own. You did things together and you did things separate. But that came with security as well. Uh to a certain degree. In some cases, and then like also like it was a part of your routine for life. Like that's what y'all did, right? So it wasn't unusual for you to be like, oh, I'm gonna go take a weekend trip with these ladies to this place. That wasn't unusual. And I love that. Like I think that there has to be balance in, and I've been advised on this and from several different people. Not that I needed the advice, but I have advised
They
because I
make it
am a person
sure.
where I do need those moments to revive, to rest my mind and all of that. But I to me, a healthy relationship has time that's protected for you to be together and time that's protected for you to be apart, not just when you're going to work. Like finding joy on your own and finding joy with each other because you just have to. Like, you're not going to always be able to do everything together. And
Yeah.
then you also shouldn't be canceling opportunities for that joy because this person can't go with you or whatever, you know? Um, Even taking solo trips, like that's okay. And I know with this particular one, I thought of Sarah Jakes Roberts and her husband. They both take, I don't know if it's a week or 2 weeks, but they both take a trip away from each other. Uh,
I know. Go ahead. I don't
they both take a trip away from each other. And during that time, they don't talk to each other. Like, because it's their time to pray, meditate, think about what they want, their personal goals. So they don't, but they understand that this is their time to go recharge and do what they need to do. They'll be back in a week.
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I was like, wow. But when he also said, no, I don't talk to her when I'm on this particular trip, because this is my trip to recharge myself. Um, I was like, wow, that's a different level to even because they started that pretty soon after they got married.
Yeah.
So your thoughts on that? Because again, I agree. I think it's needed to like you do need that space away from each other as well as together, but you have to have security and you
You
know not just be like, why you gotta leave and why you want to wait. It's not that I don't want to be around you. I need space to find me again.
not but not even that, because I as a life coach, as a wellness coach, I feel like I'm not the typical yoga, meditation, kumbaya girl. That's not me. So I don't speak. I think you speak more to of self recharge meditation than I
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
But because, you know, um what I really love about my relationship and my marriage, there wasn't really no limitations.
Right.
Like when I say limitations, sometimes when you get into relationships, they ask for you to change certain things now that you're in the relationship. So,
Right.
can you dress differently?
Mm-hmm.
You know, can you know what I'm saying? Like for us, which was a shocker for a lot of people, was we had opposite sex friends.
Mm-hmm.
The only rule that was they're not your friend if I don't know who they are, and they're not
Right.
my friend if you don't know who they are.
Right.
And so when we made it official or whatever, I don't know. We just went to get the child. I don't even know. We didn't even have.
Yeah. Just
How
want
did
to
we go
like
together?
you
We
here,
wait,
I'm here, we doing this. Okay.
right? But because we did have the conversation, and we were both like, I don't see the point, because again, we could have broken up. We could have not gotten married, and
Mm-hmm.
but we could have broken up. And now, say you my guy friend, I done cut you off for somebody I don't know who's
Right.
going to be permanent, and you was there first. You could
Right.
have been my homeboy from kindergarten.
Right.
We ain't never kissed. We ain't never done nothing.
Right.
But we've been rocking since kindergarten, and now I got to cut him off because of you.
Right.
To me,
Right.
and I know not to everybody, to me, that screams insecurity.
That is insecurity.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the millennials, for the 80s babies who grew up on what's the name of the movie where I think everybody cried when the bees got to him?
Oh, my
Um
girl.
is it?
I think it was My Girl with Macaulay Culkin. I
Yeah.
think it was
Yes.
called My
But
Girl.
they were like this.
Right.
Um Forrest Gump and Jenny.
Yeah.
So now Jen A gotta go.
Jenny. Oh,
So
yeah.
Jenny done been with me. I done been Jenny and I get beat, and I've been there for
Yeah.
her. And now you come along and you like, well, she
Right.
first got to go.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So for me and him, we was like, yeah, we ain't doing that because it's
Right.
people he has dated, but prior to me that they were like, you know what? Maybe we wasn't supposed to do that and stay
Right.
friends. And the same thing for me. I had friends that I got into relationships with, and I'm like, I don't think we do better as road dogs. We don't we don't do good in relationships and kicked
Right.
it from there. And I got because I came from Charlotte. I had a life in Charlotte. I was there for 11 years. I got 30 something people in one room
Mm-hmm.
to meet this man. All of my friends, guys, girls, every 30 something. It was like 35 people in a room. These are all
Mm-hmm.
of my friends to meet this one man. I met all his friends, you know what I'm saying? Guys,
Mm-hmm.
girls, people he's dated. I know all the stories or whatever. There was no limitations there. So when it came to traveling, he had the guys' trips. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, of course, we texting or whatever, same thing. But to even go in depth, all of my trips were different.
Right. Right.
So even with my trips with my girls, depending on the girls that I was going with or depending
Right.
on the trip, it was
Mm-hmm.
different because
Right.
some of those girls, and I hate to say ladies, some of the ladies, the trip is maybe one day of the trip, honey, we acting like we in college, child. We is honey, you know, we think we doing something, we staying out late. Um,
Mm-hmm.
not staying out late, staying up late. Staying up late, we drinking our
Mm-hmm.
wine, we turning on the music, we playing the songs from back in the day, cutting up, you know, sharing the stories of guys we used to talk to and all the horror stories and stuff. And then the next night, we might be talking about being a mom and what that's been like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying is in we do couples trips too. We did couples
Right.
trips, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had our own trips. But what I'm saying is in those times away from each other,
Right.
what I am gaining from the people around me is what I'm bringing back and what I'm pouring into myself. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
want to say from you saying, I need to recharge. I need to, not every trip is about a recharge. Sometimes the trip is gaining other perspectives from
I can't
other
write.
people. You get on my nerve. But some, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we're having
I can't
conversations.
write with my left hand. Keep going.
Oh shit.
I froze. I was like, is she staring at me? Because
No, no,
you know you'll do that sometime.
no, no.
Okay. Okay. So
But
the last thing I heard you say is like you were referring to like how I keep talking about recharging, but that made me think of something from Rose. But go ahead.
but you know, I'm gaining different perspective because in the conversations that we're having, I'm getting you know, enjoyment. I am, you know, one of the ladies might be going through something and they're like, y'all, let me get y'all opinion on this. And so I'm bonding with someone else other than my partner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm
Right.
building intentional connections with someone
Right.
other than my partner. You know, I have a
Mm-hmm.
life outside of my partner.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we go on the couples trip, I am building bonds with someone else other. I'm building bonds with two other people who have
Right.
relationships with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
what I always say about that, when I'm having those trips away from him, even he was like this too, honey. It's either on the phone or once you walk into the door, let me tell you what happened. Now, outside of like, you know, personal things, because like for the ladies, we like, okay, we ain't telling the guys about this or whatever. But for the most part, let me tell you, we had so much fun. We stayed up until 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Because honey, you know
In this
that adult
season,
life.
in this seasoned era of our lives, 2
Child,
a.m. is a big deal.
2 a.m. is a big deal. When in the 20s, 2 a.m. you just getting started. But right now,
Yeah, no.
2 a.m. is the equivalent of staying up 24 hours.
Basically,
24 hours.
yes. Yes.
Because the way you are raggedy the next day,
What? Man, I need 2 days to recoup.
straight raggedy. But it's like, and you get to, you're sharing that with them, and you get to miss them.
Yeah.
You get
Yes.
to, what is it, distance, or yeah, distance make the heart grows fonder. I don't miss you when we always doing everything together.
Right.
It's for someone like me, I'm going to get irritated. I need for you to go somewhere, go do something, go see something, bring back, because what are we talking about if we always together? I saw what you saw.
Right. 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 Right.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Right.
Was there?
Right. I think just separate experiences, and we talked briefly on this yesterday, how like, it doesn't really matter how much you know generally, but if you have a separate set of experiences from me, we can talk about those experiences. Like, but we're always talking about the thing, like you said, the things that we both see every day. Yeah, I thrive off variety.
Yeah.
But what you were saying that really kind of confirmed, highlighted, reminded me of a recent conversation I had with one of my spiritual advisors. Um, her suggestion was to expand and meet new people as far as like new friend groups that are like-minded. And so what you saying about your travel, that made me think of that. Is like, if I expand into these other areas and meeting new groups of people, I could very well stumble upon a group that I like to travel with. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm willing to take a trip with, or because like right now, you are absolutely right. Most of my trips, I'm thinking about just going to relax and recharge. I don't have any trips in mind right now where I'm like, I'm going to have fun and that. I don't. Because like, what I'm gonna go do, meet strangers and have fun, which is possible. Some people do that, but that's really not me. I would rather go with people that I know that I can grow and reconnect with, on a regular basis. So it kind of, when you saying that, made me think this might be why she's suggesting this to me right now, because I need some of that in my life. Like, I don't know, honest to God, the last time I've had something like that. If I'm
And
being real,
and
I
like you
don't.
said, with variety, like so one of the, and I don't have, like, I'm not the person, and I know some things have to work differently for other people, but I'm not the type of person that, because I'm married, that all
Mhm.
my friends have to be married, because again,
Right, right,
you've been with me before I could probably, wipe my behind good, right? Let's be honest. So, I get married. So then what I supposed to do with you? Kick you to the curb?
right, right, right.
Like, girl, you're not married.
Yeah, but and I'm glad you highlighting that because there's some people out there
There's
like
some
that,
people, and I'm like,
unfortunately.
if that works for you, but then that also lets me know, to me, that lets me know how you value relationships. So if I don't meet
Right.
a quota that you've reached before me, then I'm no good to you.
Mm. Mm.
So are
That's
we competing? Because then what if
right,
I met what if I met the quota before you?
right, right,
Then what if you get divorced? Do you get to come back? Do I wait for you?
right. And
How does
as
this
you're saying
work?
this, I'm thinking like the value of that person, the value placed on that person is like regardless of with what
It's
you've gone through
conditional.
in life and like your different relationships statuses. The value of who you are has not changed to me. So like,
Right,
you know what I'm saying? That was a part of your experience, but the value that you add to my life and that has not changed.
right.
So, and it doesn't mean like you don't have your days where you're like, ah, you want to, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't even have the full words to say what I want to say right now, but based on what you just explained, because to kick a person to the curb just because like, and I'll be real, I have personally pulled back from friendships that I knew people were like really busy with their kids or really trying to get settled in after getting married. So it wasn't even like, it was just like, I know you don't have
Let me
the
give you time.
same right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get that. So I'm not that person. Well, I don't hear from you no more because you done gone. I
Right.
ain't doing that to nobody.
Yeah.
Because I get it. I don't have it, but I get it. I get the time that has to go into that. So I will take a step back on my own, but I still value that person until they give me a reason to cut them off.
Right. And what I was saying to that is like, so, I like how you were saying you don't have those groups or those
Hmm.
pockets of I have, someone that I can, or people, I'll say people,
Hmm.
my rejuvenation group, my turn up group, you know,
Hmm.
my relationship group,
Hmm.
and whatever, right?
Hmm.
Um, a lot of minds overlap.
Right.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I don't consider myself as someone who has a lot of friends, but a lot of friends.
Right. Yeah.
So I have I have my concrete circle of, I'll say, my confidants. Like these are my
Hmm.
solid. And then I have a
Hmm.
bunch of friends. Um,
Right. Right.
but I would say in those relationships, because I might only talk to you once a month, or I might only talk to you every six
Hmm.
months, or there's quality and intentionality
Right.
in that every month, every 6 months. Because honey, when we get together, just
Hmm.
like speaking on with meeting different people and bringing it back, I met a young lady in when I went to Africa, and I don't know. The only person I knew at the time was the friend that I came with, right? And
Hmm.
so, just you speak, you have a good time,
Right.
laughed or whatever, kicked it off with them. I didn't think nothing of it. She hit me on WhatsApp because she lives in Canada. She hit me on WhatsApp
Okay.
and just
Hmm.
to say, hey, checking on you, girl. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Hmm.
all the stuff like that, right? And then she
Hmm.
said, hey, do you want to go to Thailand? Let's do it.
Mm.
Let's
That's
do
what's
it.
up.
And again, I didn't expect to meet anybody on that trip because I came with somebody.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
now I can put her in the fold. I don't talk to her every day. I don't talk to her all the time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Traveling with somebody is a big deal.
Right. Right.
And we met like that. So it's just like, oh,
Mhm.
this with other friends that she's invited because it's for her birthday. And
Mhm.
it's just like, let's do this thing. And I could
Mhm.
I could probably see her once a year on a trip, and that would be fine because I could tell my partner when I get one, um, like this is my girl. And I can say this is my girl, like this is my girl every
Right.
year. We go on a trip together and I
Right.
don't see her not a near time in between.
Right. Right.
Not a near time in between. But
Right.
I have that. And I want a partner that does stuff like that because it's exciting. And then I can, I'm a curious person. So,
Right.
I'm already
Mhm.
foaming at the mouth when you walk to the door. How was it? Like, what did you
Right.
do? I know I saw
Mhm.
all the pictures, but I want to hear from you. Like, how was the food? Those pictures look
Mhm.
really good. Like, are you
Mhm.
tired? Like, what was y'all? I can't do
Yeah.
that if we always together. You're not
Right.
interested to me. What am I picking at?
Mhm. Mhm.
You were
Mhm.
just here. You just all you did was went to the grocery store. What is there to talk about? Who did you see at the
Right.
grocery store?
Right.
Were there
I
sales?
I have been thinking honestly within the last couple weeks or so about travel groups.
Yeah.
And because I'm like, there are places I want to visit, but I don't know that I necessarily want to go by myself, even if I
Hmm.
don't know everybody, but at least I think I'm pretty certain when you're with a travel group, you instantly are like, okay, we together, you know?
You are.
Um, and
Because that's how I met her. It was
mhm,
it was with a travel group. And even though I came with someone,
right,
it didn't pan out like I thought it was, but because you're eating with them, you're going on
right,
experience with them, you don't have to stay with them because we still
right,
like we put it in the group chat because the travel group had a group chat as well. So if
Mm-hmm.
anybody had a question or something while we were on the trip, or hey y'all, I got stuck out here, can somebody send a car or something to get me?
Right.
you know. But so in the group, after we did everything, we did dinner, honey, that group chat go out, hey, anybody want to go out for the night? And
Right.
some people say yes, some people, and then you like, come on, I don't know this girl from so and so, but we want to go out. So then we get to talk. Where are you from again? Because we're not
Right. Right.
together. But there were also women on the group on the trip because they were solo. It was like 12 of them that were solo.
Oh,
You
wow.
you are paired with someone in a room. You don't know this girl.
Right.
You want to make the best of it. And when I tell you all of us got along, like all of
Good.
us.
Hmm.
So, and there were guys on the trip too. You know what I'm saying? So it's a travel group, but it wasn't just for women. It was just,
Right.
yeah. So
Right.
those groups are good and it's
Mm-hmm.
exciting. You get
Mm-hmm.
to meet new people and again gain new experiences and then get perspective and
Mm-hmm.
you learn where you from. Oh, I've been there before, but you're from there.
Right.
Da 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 da. All the
And
good things.
I will say, because of what I do for a living, and well, honestly, my what I consider my side hustle is virtual. So I'm always talking to people from different places.
Hmm.
So one of the reasons why I love travel so much is because travel has allowed me to make connections with people who I'll never be in the same room with.
There you
You know
go.
what I'm saying? Like we can talk about different things, and sometimes it's not even where they are at that time. They've been to a place that I've been to. So one of my for a while when I was introducing myself, I would, share, hey, fun fact about me. One of the coolest places I've ever visited was Alaska. So then sometimes people are like, oh, I've been there, or what did you think about this? Was it all night when you went there? Like, was it all dark or whatever? And so it just builds, it gives you an opportunity to actually make connections with other people. And
There you go.
in the business of education, your connection is what's gonna make or break you. Whether you're teaching a child or an adult, if they don't feel like they can connect with you, they that's it. Like you not doing nothing with them. Like that's just being real. So, but that is definitely one of the things that I enjoy most, and just learning people, because I think here in the States we have a lens that is hard to see outside of if you don't get outside and see other things, because it's like you need exposure to realize that you can walk down the street in some places and not be feeling like you got to look over your shoulder all the time.
That part.
You can go to a random restaurant that's a mom and pop shop and not worry about what you're eating.
Yeah.
Like there are places that exist like that, as opposed to just always being here. And I'm with the, like, stand up for what you believe in, but at some point take some action to preserve yourself too. And that may not be here.
That means,
Huh?
what are you saying?
Leave.
Okay.
Something I know you won't argue with.
No, I'm wrong.
Leave. Like go to, and I mean, it may not be permanent, but just go see. Go see. Go
Yeah, go
see.
see. Go
Just
see.
go see.
Yeah.
So
And when you say
um
connections, it's not just even like how we connect, excuse me, it's not even how we connect, but it's a network.
yes.
In
Yep.
in you being in, because I want to take it back to being in relationships and you're solely dependent on each other. You don't have any outside friends.
Mm-hmm.
You might and let's also eliminate cousins and family. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't go hang out with your cousins. You don't kick it with your family like that. You go for the Thanksgiving and whatever, but your partner is your friend, your confidant, your everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have no connection and you don't have a village.
No, a village is major too.
Because those are the same things. You don't have that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when because I have friends that are married and single, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
when prime example for us, if you're sick or you need something, and when you've been here, Ralph, if you can you please bring me da 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 girl, yeah, I'm coming.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
solely dependent on one person and that
Right.
one person, what are you gonna do?
Right.
What are you gonna
Right.
do? You need a plenty times being on these trips and stuff, you talking to people, you figure out, I don't like and I'm just, this is my own little thing I'm putting in here. I don't like when I meet someone new and the second question you ask me after you asking me my name is what I do. Don't be trying to judge me off
Mm,
of that. You figure out who I am and my character.
right,
Okay. Because then I'm
right.
going to lie to you and I'm going to tell you I'm an accountant.
Today, and then tomorrow you'll be I'm a
I
computer
am an
engineer.
accountant. And then when you meet somebody who really know me, they be like, no, she's not.
Like she told you what?
She
Like,
what?
oh boy.
I don't know.
What
But
else did she tell you?
right. But when you meet someone, you might people have gotten deals, people have gotten
Yeah,
jobs, people have gotten opportunities. And again, you are shortening all of that when you are just up your partner's butt and you are
woo.
not allowing other people in. Network connections and village. Like you can't do this all by yourself.
Mm, mm,
So even if
mm.
you don't travel, you need to be outside of your relationship to do these things because again, when you have kids, you know what I'm saying, when you're sick, what if you and your partner sick? Who are you calling?
Right.
Who are you
Girl, you just
calling?
you just said something that like rocked my spirit because in a good way, because the job that I took that I was afraid to take that I now am in love with may be the same job that connected me to a person that may bring my next opportunity.
Okay.
No, and it's just like just being willing to expand like and I'm gonna be real. The reason I was afraid is like I don't know nobody there. If I go travel there, I don't and I like I said earlier in this session, I still did it. Even with that little bit of fear, I'm like, I'm gonna have faith if the opportunity presents itself, then I'm gonna go ahead and take it, see what it does. Here I am 2 years later, and now having conversations with somebody like, hey, you think you would be interested in doing this? In
And they
a time
asking
where
you.
people are looking for work and have been for years. You know what I'm saying? For someone to come to me and ask me if I'm interested in something, man, listen.
And that's what I'm
So,
saying. They're asking you. You're not asking. They,
right,
oh, I know somebody who will
right,
be perfect. Let me
right.
ask her if she's open to the opportunity. Don't say nothing to nobody else yet. Let me ask
Yes.
her because she would be perfect for this.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like,
But
wow.
you would have never had that opportunity if you were the type of person who like, I don't want to leave my boyfriend.
Right. Right. Right.
I'ma miss him.
Yeah. Yeah.
What am I
Yeah.
going to do without him? Doing the same thing you're doing right now. That's right.
Right. Right. So, I mean, it's amazing how things come full circle when you have a little faith, do the work with it. Uh, and it's okay to be afraid, but just taking those steps and being intentional about experiencing other people and making connections. Those things you just never know. Because, like, kind of like what you said, how it came full circle. You went on a trip to Africa with someone else, met a person, and the person decided to just check in and be like, hey, you think you would be interested? Now you about to go to Thailand. Like, really? You know,
Yeah.
that's great. That's true connection. That's what it should look like. Um, I don't know. Those were the two questions, the two topics. Is there anything else you wanna?
I did have some, but I am in my 40s and I have a child, so my brain
What?
my brain don't
What?
work. Like if I didn't write it down, it didn't happen.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. No.
Well, until next time, because I don't have anything. Oh, what did you? Oh, I will put the travel group in the
Mhm,
description. If you want to
mhm,
submit any of your questions to us, the LINK is here.
mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm,
if you want to check and chew with me, I had to think
mhm,
about it. If you want to check
mhm,
and chew with
mhm,
me, the LINK is also in the bio.
mhm.
And so you can sign up for a consultation free. And we'll talk about it, see if we're a match.
Yeah.
We can go together real bad. Until next time, as I always say, keep it safe and sexy, and we will see y'all next week.
One hand.